I think we can all agree that teachers don't get enough credit for the work they do. They have to deal with annoying kids who act like they deserve the entire world, and they don't even get paid that much. Think about it this way, teachers have to deal with middle schoolers. Think back to what you were like in middle school. And now imagine 20 of you in one room for 45 minutes a day for 3/4 of a year, and only one adult is supervising you that entire time, and they get paid way less than they should. Of course, that doesn't mean that all teachers are good. It might sound cruel, but I think that certain teachers deserve the mental scarring from teaching a bunch of kids with no filter or sense of regret. What do you want to be when you grow up? What do you care? You're gonna be dead by then. The teacher that I personally believe deserved the most mental torture was my art teacher, Mr. Wales. Since I'm not in school anymore, I don't care enough to censor his name. So if you know me in real life, or at some point in the future the name of my hometown gets leaked, then you know exactly who I'm talking about. Now the reason I didn't say which specific grade Mr. Wales taught me in was because I had him for every grade. Seriously, from when I was in kindergarten to 5th grade, he was the art teacher at the elementary school. Then when we moved on to the middle school, he went to teach there as well. And just when I thought we got rid of him, he followed us to the high school as well. But that last one wasn't really his fault. They had to fire the old high school art teacher because of budget cuts, so we literally couldn't escape him. I don't think I ever mentioned the fact that he hates kids. That's why I'm being really cynical about this. Yeah, he hated kids, and I was a kid when I knew him. The feeling was mutual. Anyway, when we were in elementary school, we only had to deal with him one day out of the numbered days week. Every day of the year would be numbered. Why did they feel it was necessary to do that? So it wasn't that bad, but oh man, did he make sure that day was memorable. He had a corner of his room that he just put one chair in, and that was the timeout corner, where if you did something bad or if he just really didn't like you, he would send you to timeout. Looking back, that seems pretty understandable for the younger grades, but when we got to 5th grade and this overweight nostalgia critic looking bastard told me to go to timeout, I would be a little pissed about it. Also, it didn't matter how severe your crime was, you would always be sent to timeout. Whether you dropped a clay mug or you stabbed another kid with safety scissors and caused permanent damage, you would get equal punishment. When I was in elementary school, I had no choice but to be in art class, but when we were in high school, I actually chose to do it because I thought maybe Mr. Wales would have taken it more seriously since we actually wanted to be in the class. We were in high school, there was no way he was going to be as terrible as he was in the past. Everybody pick up your pencils and draw me! It was one of the weirdest moments of my life. That was when I came to the conclusion that Mr. Wales was very egotistical. He wanted everyone to know how amazing he was, and to make sure we knew, he would make us tell him what we liked best about him. I think he just really wanted the ego boost. And since I already hated him, I made sure to draw him in the worst way possible. He gave me a 30%. He made my class, which only had like 10 people in it, draw self-portraits. And making 9th graders draw a picture of themselves isn't really good for their self-esteem. I didn't take art in 10th or 11th grade, but in my senior year I needed credits in order to graduate, so I had no other choice but to take Art 2 and 3 in the same year. In Art 2, he treated all the students as if this was the first time they had ever heard about art in their entire lives. We had to write more essays in art than we did in English. Around October, Mr. Wales decided that it would be a good time to teach us about the history of photography, and how he really doesn't consider it true art. But he still had to teach us how to do it in case we were interested. And he decided the best place for us to test photography was a graveyard. He made us walk to a nearby cemetery, which there were 2 of for some reason, and we took pictures of tombstones. Art 3 was a little better. We kind of had the ability to draw what we wanted, but we had to draw it in a certain style. The first style we had to draw something in was pen and ink. You know, the kind of art style where you don't even use a pencil and all your mistakes are permanent. No pressure. The picture I made actually turned out kind of okay. I still have it on my wall next to my setup, and yes, it is a wolf. I was just really into the brand at that point. Also, if you look closely, you can see that I had to put white out on certain spots right in the middle. That's because right when I was finishing it, my friend Nick decided to bump my elbow, so I dripped ink right on it. Nick, I know you're watching this. I'm still mad. While I was in Art 3, I was also in Ceramics at the same time. They were in the same room, just with a divider in the middle, and Mr. Wales would only be able to torture me from a different room on every other day. The days in between, he was the teacher of ceramics. Are you kidding me? The actual ceramics teacher was also a teacher at the elementary school, so she would only be at the high school every other day. So I had to deal with Mr. Wales a third time, and he managed to make ceramics not fun. He would tell me I was doing everything wrong. I mean, technically he told everyone that, except his favorite student, Brian. He didn't think Brian could do anything wrong, so Brian never got in trouble. Also, he would assign us a certain cleanup job every week. Isn't this the custodian's job? That probably makes me sound really self-centered. But seriously, the janitor gets paid to clean the school, so why are we cleaning up messes that we didn't even make? God help the people that had ceramics the last period of the day. They had to make sure the room was spotless. But the thing that pissed me off the most was when he would turn on the stereo and start blaring the music he liked. Usually the ceramics teacher would pick songs from a playlist that the class made at the beginning of the semester. But Mr. Wales didn't want to listen to anything we liked, so he played his favorite music. Country road. He would blare country music. I would be so broken that I would just break down in tears. It was the worst time of my life. I probably have more stories about Mr. Wales, but I can't really think of any right now. Also, I know for a fact that some people that go to the school I did watch my videos, and they might have Mr. Wales as a teacher. Please, for the love of God, do not show this video to him. I don't need him suing me for defamation of character. I have some stories about my other teachers as well, so I might make a part 2 to this, I'm not sure. Although technically I already did a school stories video, so this is pretty much a part 2 to that video. So if I do another video, it would be part 3. Am I overthinking this? Also, the day that I'm uploading this is, hopefully, the 21st, which means it's my 2-year anniversary on YouTube. Not 2 years since I made the channel, but 2 years since I started uploading. For my 1-year anniversary, I made this really sentimental video, but I didn't do that this year. So, you just get a video about my egotistical art teacher. I know a lot of you have only been around since I made the random thoughts video for easy views, but can you blame me? Look at those statistics. But I do recognize people who have been around since I used to make Minecraft videos. I just got a notification saying someone commented on my last video from the channel named Fuck You. That's not a joke. And the comment is, "You are not funny."
In this video, we'll show you how to delete a YouTube channel.
How did you tolerate those? I don't know how to close this video off, so here's to 2 more years of me insulting my old teachers that might get me into legal trouble later on in life.